Hello, dear friends. Myself, Dr. Surekha Jaiswal, Moreshwar Arts and Science Commerce College, Bhukardan, District Jalna. Today we will see General Electronic paper code number PHY 205, paper number 11, semester 4. Now, chapter number 3, Oscillator and Multivibrators. Today's contents are Introduction, Hybrid Parameters, H parameters, and determination of a H parameter. Oscillatory oscillator are basically AC signal generator that are used in laboratories for producing sine waves. Sine waves, the type of waves that is used as test signal for many applications. So oscillator find important application in many laboratory applications. An oscillator is a circuit that generates a repetitive AC signal. The frequency of AC signal may vary from few Hz to many millions of Hz. The oscillator is an alternative to the mechanical generator used to produce electrical power. The advantages of oscillator are the absence of moving parts and the range over which the AC signal can be produced. The output of an oscillator may be sinusoidal, rectangular, or sawtooth waveform, depending on the type of oscillator used. The main requirement of an oscillator is that the output be uniform. That is, the output must not vary in either frequency or amplitude. When an inductor and capacitor are connected in parallel, they form what is called a tank circuit. When a tank circuit is excited by an external DC source, it oscillates. That is, it produces a back and forth current flow. If it were not for the resistance of the circuit, the tank circuit would oscillate forever. However, the resistance of the tank circuit absorbs the energy from the current and the oscillation of the circuit are damped. For the tank circuit to maintain oscillation, the energy that is dissipated must be replaced. The energy that is replaced is referred to as positive feedback. Positive feedback is the feeding back into the tank circuit of a portion of the output signal to sustain oscillation. The feedback must be in phase with the signal in the tank circuit. Oscillator produce output waveform as a sine wave, which is having available frequency and variable magnitude. Oscillator requires DC supply in volt. It produces output and output control voltage and output frequency control. In oscillator, there is no external AC signal. Therefore, we can say oscillator is circuit. It produces output oscillation without any AC input signal. Now, figure shows a block diagram of an oscillator. See in figure, the basic oscillator can be broken down into three sections. The frequency determined oscillator circuit is usually an ACLC circuit. An amplifier increase the output signal of the tank circuit. A feedback circuit delivers the proper amount of energy to the tank circuit to sustain oscillation. The oscillator circuit is essentially a closed loop that uses DC power to maintain AC oscillations. Now see two-port network representation of a transistor. Since the transistor has three terminals, namely emitter, base and collector, its small signal AC model can be represented by a two-port network with the common input-output terminals as shown in figures A, B and C. We discuss about the transistor is a three-terminal device, a collector, base and emitter. We know very well if the conduction symbolically they are represented in this way as shown in figure. Here three terminal emitter, base and collector as shown in figure. Transistor can be operated in three modes via keeping one of the three terminal common. For example, in the figure we can see that this base emitter, the base terminal is common in the figure A. See here the base terminal of this transistor is common, and one section, that is input section, that is emitter and base, another we call is as output junction formed by a collector and base. So this was a symbolical representation of common base circuit of a transistor as shown in figure A, and in figure B common emitter, and in figure C common collector mode. In general, a transistor operating in the closed vicinity of the Q point may be conveniently represented by a linear two-port network as shown in figure. Now here the two-port transistor representation is as shown in figure, may be fully described by four quantities, namely the voltage V1 and current I1 at the input side, see here, and the voltage V2 and current I2 at the output side of the network. Now it is a circuit, it is a transistor, it has three terminals. This is first terminal, and this is second terminal, and this terminal C, that is common just like transistor, The bottom line, see in figure, the bottom line, this is common line. We have the current flowing through the circuit carries a current I when V1 voltage is applied, and another port carries current I2 when a voltage V2 is existing between that two ports. This is one port and this is another port of the network. So two port network is like this. The common terminal here, it can be as the emitter, either base or collector. With the voltage and current as marked on the two-port network in figure. There exist 6 different possibilities to describe the input-output relationship by considering two quantities out of 4 as the independent variable and the other two as the dependent variables. All these 6 ways of describing the transistor two-port network may be written in the functional form. Now see in figure, the two-port transistor representation is as shown in figure, that is fully described by 4 quantities, namely the voltage V1 and current I1 at the input side, see in figure, and the voltage V2 and current I2 at the output side of the network. Now here in equation 1, V2 equal to is a function of V1 I1 and I2 equal to function of V1 I1. So in equation 1, to explain it further, let us consider equation 1. Here V2 and I2 are considered as the independent variable, which are separately described as function of the dependent variable V1 and I1. Similarly, in equation 2, V1 and I1 are considered as dependent variable. Here V1 equal to function of V2 I2 and I1 equal to function of V2 I2. So here in equation 2, V1 and I1 are considered as independent variable and are described separately as a function of the dependent variable V2 and I2. We have seen here that there are 6 sets of equation gives an equivalent circuit. In transistor circuit, the H parameters are usually preferred in the low frequency region and the Y parameters in the high frequency region. Moreover, the transistor H parameters equivalent circuit can be suitably modified to include the high frequency effect. Hybrid parameters, H parameters. To analyze the performance of transistor, they are conveniently represented by an equivalent circuit. The hybrid equivalent or H parameter equivalent circuit is widely used for small signal low frequency application because of the following reasons. First, the H parameter can be measured easily. Second, they are more independent of each other and other variables like frequency and operating point, etc. And the value of H parameters nearly correspond to actual values of input and output impedance and current gain for many applications. And fourth, the H parameters are real number at audio frequencies and they are particularly suitable for circuit analysis and designed and are specified by the transistor manufacturers. Creating the four-port transistor as a black box as shown in figure, there are two parts pair of terminals. The pair of terminals at the left represent the input terminal while pair of at the right side shows output terminals. For each pair of terminal there are two variables, the current I and voltage V. These four variables can be related by the following equations. V1 equal to H11 I1 plus H12 V2 and I2 equal to H2 I1 plus H22 V2. The parameters H11, H12, H21 and H22 which relate the four variables of the two-part system are called H parameters. The letter H stands for hybrid and may be defined by first putting V2 equal to 0, output terminal short circuited, and then I1 equal to 0, input terminal open circuited. In the above equation, we get H11 equal to V1 upon I1 at that time V2 equal to 0, input impedance equal to HI, and S21 equal to mod of I2 upon I1 V2 equal to 0 for is equal to forward current ratio, that is equal to HF. H12 equal to mod of V1 upon V2 I1 equal to 0 and that is equal to reverse voltage ratio, that is equal to HR. Determination of H parameters. The major reason for the use of H parameter is the relative with which they can be measured. The H parameters of a circuit shown in figure can be found as under. If we short circuit the output terminal shown in figure, the output terminal is short here, then we can say that output voltage V2 equal to 0. Putting V2 equal to 0 in the equation of H11 and H21, we get V1 equal to H11 I1 plus H12 into 0 and I2 equal to H21 I1 plus H22 into 0. Therefore, H11 equal to V1 upon I1 V2 equal to 0 and H21 equal to I2 upon I1 V2 equal to 0. Let us now turn to the physical meaning of H11 and H21. Since H11 is a ratio of voltage and current, that is V1 upon I1, it is an impedance and is called input impedance with output shorted. Similarly, H21 is the ratio of output and input current, that is I2 upon I1. It will dimensionless and is called current gain with output shorted. The other two H parameters as H12 and H22 can be found by making I1 equal to 0. This can be done by the arrangement shown in figure. Here we derive the output terminal with voltage V2, keeping the input terminal open with this setup I1 equal to 0 and the equation becomes V1 equal to H11 into 0 plus H12 V2 and I2 equal to H21 into 0 plus H22 V2. Therefore, we get H12 equal to V1 upon V2 at that time I1 equal to 0 and H22 equal to I2 upon V2 I1 equal to 0. Since H12 is a ratio of input and output voltage, that is V1 upon V2, it is the dimensionless and is called voltage feedback ratio with input terminal open. Similarly, S22 is a ratio of output current and output voltage, that is I2 upon V2. It will be admittance and is called output admittance with input terminals open. Thank you.